Yo, what's good YouTube? It's your boy Jay. Today I'm going to be giving you guys all my settings and my Nvidia filters and my desktop settings that I use to kind of help give my game a little bit of an extra pop, make it run a little bit smoother, get my FPS up. So any of you guys who, or maybe your PCs aren't that great, you're not getting great frames, or your games are dark, not very colorful, this video should be a lot of help to you guys. All right guys, so hopping over to the general tab here in options, we're going to really quickly just go down to brightness. This is really just going to come down to what your monitor or your TV is showing you guys. I can't help you too much on this. If the game looks too dark, turn this up a little bit. If the game looks too bright, obviously turn it down a little bit. Now colorblind, I do use colorblind. I don't know how to pronounce this. Ortonopia. This personally for me, I found that the outlines on enemies were a little bit easier to see with this. And I also felt like some of the colors looked a little bit nicer with this setting. What I would recommend doing is going into game and just going and like standing, looking at something and just messing with all the three of the different settings, or all four of the different settings, the three different color blinds, and also disabling it and just seeing what looks nicer to you guys. Personally, this is what I've settled on. I think it makes the game look the best. So then let's hop over to graphics. I play in full screen mode. I would not recommend playing in anything else. Full screen is going to get you guys better frames, and it's also going to make sure you're not getting any additional input delay. Refresh rate, I play 240 hertz. I actually custom frame rate dropped it down to 200, but this all comes down to what you guys are running. So if you're running a 60 hertz monitor, 144, set this accordingly. So render resolution, guys, we want to keep this at 100 at all costs. The only reason I would ever say to touch this is if you've lowered all your other settings down and you're still getting really bad lag or really bad frames, then maybe try dropping this down to 95, 90. It's just gonna have a real big impact on the way your game looks and the quality. So if at all possible, guys, keep this on 100. Aspect ratio automatic, sync every frame disabled. This can give you guys input delay. We do not want that. Custom frame rate, I've just set it to 200. I'm not going to be getting 240 hertz on Warzone anyways. This game is an absolute monster. So it just means in the times where I could get above 200, my computer's not working any harder than it needs to. Menu 60, doesn't matter. Out of focus 30, just if you're tapped out or something. Nvidia highlights disabled. Display gamma 2.2. I believe if you use a monitor, you want to be on 2.2, and if you're a TV player, then 2.4. So most of us should probably be staying on 2.4 here, or 2.2, sorry. Okay guys, text resolution, this is another one that you've got some options with. If your PC can handle it, I prefer to run this on high. It makes things look a lot sharper. As you can kind of see in this picture, it's a lot sharper than this. Now if your PC is struggling, this is a pretty good one to drop down to normal. You can see how far it drops it down on usage. And if you're still getting some issues there, then you can bring it down to low or potentially very low. Obviously it will make the game not look as sharp, but performance matters more than quality of image, in my opinion. Texture filter, we're going to turn that off. Particle quality low. Bullet impact and sprays, I enable this. This is probably preference. I don't think it has very much impact on your performance. I kind of like it on, so I've left it on. Tessellation, we're going to disable that. Shadow map resolution low. Cache shadows, or cache spot shadows, disabled. Cache sun shadows, disabled. Particle lighting low. This is for like explosions and stuff. We don't want to be seeing any more than we need to. DirectX off. Ambient occlusion off. Screen space reflection off. Anti-aliasing, I play with this off. I know a lot of my friends like to run SMAA T2X. I would just say go into game, turn it on, see how the game looks, run around a little bit, turn it off, do the same, and make your decision. Personally, I just felt like my game looked a little bit better off. So that's how I've been running mine. Depth of field disabled, limit strength 0, world motion blur disabled, weapon motion blur disabled, film grain disabled as well, or 0%. All right, so heading over to the desktop, just going to go to the Nvidia control panel, and we are going to go to adjust image settings with preview and just push this all the way over to performance. Like I said before, performance pretty much trumps quality in every way for me. I want steady frames, high frames, more than I want my game to look a little bit sharper, you know? And so then we're going to go to adjust desktop color settings next, and digital vibrance. I believe this is on about 50% normally, and you can just see that the colors look a little more washed. They don't kick off the screen as much. So I personally like to play with this up on about 70. This is something you just mess with. Try maybe 65, try 70, try 75, and just see what looks the cleanest to you. Just gonna give your game a little bit more color, a little bit more spark, and we're gonna apply that. All right, guys, so we're just gonna hop into game here real quick so I can show you a little comparison and just show you my Nvidia filters that I've also been using. So you can see how bright and just clear and colorful the game looks here. And I'm in what is kind of a little bit of a dark corner. I maybe could have found a better one, but I'll hop over to my filters. And so these are the 3 filters I'm running. If I turn them off, look how terrible it looks now in comparison. I mean, it's not even close. It's so dull and dark and bland. Turn them back on for you guys. Bam. It just pops way more. It looks way clearer, way sharper, easier to spot people. If I had somebody to use this like a test dummy, you guys could see. It's a lot easier to see people when they're, you know, hiding on little head glitches and stuff like that. Just way more clean overall. And so those settings that I'm using, or those filters that I'm using, for brightness, we're on 0%, contrast 30%, highlights 6%, shadows minus 80%, gamma 10%. Now you can play with these a little bit yourself, but this is what I found to work best for me. For color, tint 0%, tint intensity 0%, temperature 0, vibrance 26. Now this is just an additional level of digital vibrance like we added in the control panel. So depending on how high you put that, you might want to take that into consideration when changing this number. And then finally sharpen on 30%, and that's what kind of just gives these the edges of all these items like a nice little sharp look. It ends up looking really clean. So hopefully this video was able to answer you guys questions about what settings I run, what color correction, etc. that I run on my game to make it look as clean as it does. If I did miss anything, shoot me a comment down below and I'll get you guys the answer to whatever I missed as soon as possible. If this video was helpful, please drop a sub and a like. I would definitely appreciate it. And I'll look forward to catching you guys in the next video. All right, peace out. I'll keep you safe in this house tonight. Hold on to